सब्सक्राइब करिए शॉर्ट एंड डिक्टेशंस चैनल को और दबाइए इस बेल आइकन को ताकि आपको मिले लेटेस्ट अपडेट्स।
Be ready. 5 seconds. Start. Foreign policy cannot be divorced from a country's internal policy. Any country, any government, any political party must decide what it believes, conviction or belief. What is our foreign policy? Some people take the word non-alignment and think that is the whole of our foreign policy. In a way, it is not the word non-alignment, but what non-alignment stands for, namely, that we believe in independently judging all issues. We do not wish to be tied to any group or to any country. We are today nearer to 21st century than we are to the 19th. But unfortunately, we find that over large portions of the world, thinking is still very much in the 19th century. The world has changed. We helped to change it because of India's freedom movement, because of India becoming free, and other countries in Asia and Europe becoming free. This has been the greatest change in the world. Although it was obvious to us that we would become free and that our freedom would lead to the freedom of other countries, this process came somewhat as a shock to the colonial powers. For some time, they seemed to be stunned by that shock, but it has not taken long for them to recover. And since they have recovered, we see another very subtle changes coming over the world, rather dangerous changed colonialism. This has actually happened in some places, and in other places there have been attempts that it should happen. Therefore, the difficulties before the developing countries are still very great, and we can face them not merely by idealism, not merely by sentimentalism, but by very clear thinking and hard headed analysis of the situation. I am glad that the seminar has had the benefit of the analysis of the various people who have spoken here about different problems in different parts of the world. I am told that there were certain criticisms. We are used to criticism of our foreign policy because any independent path is so much more difficult to pursue and so much more difficult for people to understand than if we follow some beaten path. There are those who say that non-alignment has not served our purpose or it has not been a success. Many of those who have been against non-alignment all these years and who criticized my father and myself for trying to pursue this path are today not attacking non-alignment as such, but are saying that we are not truly non-aligned. The great attack today, the greatest weapon which is used against foreign policy, is to say that in effect we are following the Soviet line. Perhaps they think they are saying so will frighten us, into trying to give up our friendship with the Soviet people. Perhaps they merely think that they will be able to blow up the image of independence which we have amongst our own people and amongst the world. Let us very clear that regardless of what our big newspapers say here, the image of India is very clear outside. It is not an image of a country which follows any group or country. It is an image of a country standing or trying to stand squarely on its own feet. It does not mean that they always think we are right. Many of the countries think that we make mistakes, and on many occasions we go wrong. On all the occasions when we seem to support the Western countries, it is the Eastern group which says that we have gone wrong or we have not been strong enough. On other occasions when we have supported the Soviet people, or more likely the African Asian countries, the Western world thinks we have gone wrong. On one occasion, the American ambassador complained to me that we had supported the Soviet Union on more occasions in the United Nations than we had supported other countries. I said, let us look at each occasion. I did not have details with me there, and then because this remark was made at a party. But I said, if you look at the occasions on which we have seemed to side with the Soviet Union, what do you find? Were they not issues in which India and the developing countries were vitally interested? And if this was so, would it not be more true to say that the Soviet Union has supported the stand taken by the developing countries, by the African and Asian countries, and not that we had gone out of our way to support the Soviet Union? Afterwards, I put this question to the Ministry of External Affairs, and actually, when we counted up, we found that it was not even true to say that we had voted with the Soviet Union on more occasions than we had voted with the other countries of the Western Bloc.